Welcome to the virtual class. So we were dealing with the local self-government. Okay. In the previous class through teachment, we have learned about the three-tier structure of local self-government that was introduced in our country on the recommendation of Balwant Rai Metha Committee. So the three-tier structures are: on the grassroots level we have the Gram Panchayat. Then, in the block level we have the Panchayat Samiti. And in the district level we have the Jilla Parishad. Jilla Parishad. This is in the village level. This is in the block level. And this is in the district level. Now, in the previous class, we learned about the Gram Panchayat, which has two bodies which are associated with one another. And the two bodies are the Gram Sabha and the Gram Panchayat. And we learned about the composition of the Gram Sabha, the functions of Gram Sabha, composition of the Gram Panchayat and its functions. So I have asked you to learn at least 4 functions from each section. So today we are going to learn about the Panchayat Samiti at the block level. The Panchayat Samiti. So the Panchayat Samiti is in the block level. Now as you can see here itself, it's in middle. So therefore, the Panchayat Samiti is an intermediate body. It's an intermediate body between the Jilla Parishad and the Gram Panchayat. What it does is the Panchayat Samiti coordinates the working and the functioning of the Gram Panchayat, and whatever suggestion recommendations are to be made or demands are to be made for the Gram Panchayat at the village level, it's put forward by the Panchayat Samiti to the Jilla Parishad. So Panchayat Samiti, what is it? It's an intermediate body that coordinates the working and the functioning of the various Gram Panchayats in the various villages. Now, 5, 6, 7 villages, they come together and they form a block. So in the block level, we have the Panchayat Samiti. Now what you need to know from it is composition of Panchayat Samiti in brief and its functions. As I've mentioned before, the functions of the Panchayat Samiti are exactly the similar or the ones which are performed in the grassroots level by the Gram Panchayat. So let's go ahead with the composition of the Panchayat Samiti at the block level. Composition. Who all are the members of the Panchayat Samiti? That we need to know. Now, 3, 4, 5, 6 villages, they come together and they form a block. They form a block. So these are the Gram Panchayats. In, let's say, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 villages. So they have come together, or these 4 villages comprise a block, and each Gram Panchayat has a Sarpanch. Yes or no? The head of the Panchayat is known as the Sarpanch. So therefore, the first composition is it consists or comprises of all the Sarpanch of that particular block. So within the particular block or certain region, there may be 5-6 gram panchayats, and these 5-6 gram panchayats, they have their sarpanch. So all this sarpanch of the various 5, according to my example, 5 villages are the members of the Panchayat Samiti, which is at the block level. Second one is the first one. Second one. So within that block, from within that block, 5-6 villages were there. There are different sarpanches and all. So within that block, there might be some elected body to the legislature. The elected body to the legislature, such as MLA, MP. There may be some. So in a locality, even if you talk about the Namchepu constituency or the Namchepu block, we have an elected body to the state legislature or to the state legislative assembly. So therefore, if there are any MLAs or MP or the member of the parliament, member of the state legislative assembly who are elected, and if they are from within this block, then they are also the ex officio members of the Panchayat Samiti. I am talking about the ex officio members. Okay? Since they are the MLAs or the MPs or the elected body which come from within that particular block, so they are the members of the Panchayat Samiti. The next one, composition. We are talking about composition. MLA MPs of that block, if there are any. Third one, the SDM and the BDO, the subdivision magistrate and the block development officer. So they also are the members of the Panchayat Samiti. Besides this, 1/3 of the seats, or today it is 50%. 50% of the seats are reserved for women. 50% of the seats are reserved for women, and there are seats reserved for scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and other backward communities. So they also get a reservation in the Panchayat Samiti. Clear or not clear? Sarpanch, briefly you need to know, all the sarpanches of the different villages within that block are the members of the Panchayat Samiti. Second one, if there are any MLAs, MPs from within that block, they also become the members of the Panchayat Samiti. The SDM and the block BDO are also the members of the Panchayat Samiti. They are mostly the ex officio members. Besides that, there are reservations for women. 50% of the seats are reserved for whom? Women. There are seats also reserved for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and other backward communities. So you need to know only this much. Now the next one that you need to know is the Chief Executive Officer of the Panchayat Samiti, who executes the program at the block level. The BDO, which is the Block Development Officer within that region, is the Chief Executive Officer. Okay? He is not an elected, he is an appointed person by the government, which comes under local government. So the BDO is the Chief Executive Officer of the Panchayat Samiti. Is it clear? Now the next thing that you need to know is the functions of the Panchayat Samiti. What are the functions of the Panchayat Samiti? Now as I told you before, the Panchayat Samiti performs all those type of functions which in the block level which are done by the Gram Panchayats at the village level. Okay? Now, in the villages, what are the works done by the village Panchayat? Setting up of dispensaries, make provision for safe drinking waters, look after the establishment of primary schools, etc., look after the health of the expected mothers, rural electrification, keeping a record of births and deaths. These were some of the functions which are performed or which are to be performed by whom? The Gram Panchayat. So similar functions are performed by the Panchayat Samiti in the block level. One thing what you need to know is the Panchayat Samiti is a coordinating unit. Being an intermediate body, it coordinates the working and the functioning of the various Gram Panchayats within that particular block. That you have to keep in mind. So it acts as an coordinating agency. Okay, it acts as a coordinating agency. The first function of the Panchayat Samiti. The next one, what happens? It looks after the welfare and the development of the villages that comes within that block. Now, the Gram Panchayat or the Gram Sabha prepares the budget. Yes or no? For a particular year. Now, this budget prepared by the Gram Sabha is sent to the Panchayat Samiti, and the budget of the Gram Panchayats are approved by the Panchayat Samiti. Clear or not clear? And other functions of the Panchayat Samiti are like, for example, they look after the development of the villages, make provisions for safe drinking water, setting up wells, tubes, etc., and look after the rural electrification, and it also has to maintain a record of birth and deaths, to look after the health services and so on. As I've mentioned before, functions, if you have memorized 3 different functions under 3 different categories of the village panchayat, similar functions are performed or same functions can be written in the case of Panchayat Samiti. Okay, so we will be doing only this much for today. So in the next class, we'll be talking about the apex body or the highest body of local self-government in the rural areas, that is the Jilla Parishad in the district level. Okay, so thank you, stay safe and be in touch. Good day.